Good morning, I'm Vickie Bell and welcome to Navigate's Tuesday Tips series of 2017 on resolutions and goal settings for your property. The first of the year is a great time for goal setting and prioritizing our properties for a successful year. Let's begin with HUD's file content and record retention. We recommend, not instruct, just recommend that if you don't use the 6-part file folders, which can be a little more expensive, that you separate your files with a colored sheet of paper and having the year on top. This will indicate to anyone who reviews your file the contents behind that for that particular year. The HUD 4350 handbook tells us what owner and agents must keep in their files and where those files are to be kept. I know that most of you know that the files contain important and confidential information for our residents. However, I have gone to a property and asked for a particular file and the manager told me, "Oh, I left that file at home." Do not carry the files home. Do not have the files in the trunk of your car. Another incident, went to a review and here comes the manager with a trunk full of files. We don't want to take those. Please treat the confidential information of your residents with high security measures. If the files are kept at the corporate office and not the site, let the reviewer and anyone authorized to review the files know the location of the files. Don't ride around with them in the trunk of your car. Now, let's talk about what the files should contain. The eligibility documents we'll talk about first. That'll be the application, the background check, including the sexual offender check, birth certificates, social security cards, race and ethnicity forms. You're familiar with all of those. Leases and applicable lease attachments, and the current 50059 for the certification that the reviewer will be reviewing. These items are called the move-in documents. When you purge your files, you want to always keep the move-in documentation in the current file. All original signed HUD 9887s and 9887 forms, a copy of the entire EIV Income Report, regardless of whether or not the income is reported for the household, needs to be in the file. And remember, the first report will be generated 90 days after move-in, after the move-in is processed to tracks. Also, any other documentation obtained supporting income and rent determinations such as income, allowances, and expenses. Remember, on an annual recertification used for income, you have to have the paycheck stubs to support the EIV Income Report. The file should also contain any and all third-party verifications received. Annual recertification files will contain most of the same information as your move-in file, with a few exceptions, and that will be the third-party verifications that you will get. Now let's talk about purging. If your files are becoming too large and thick, you may purge them. Keep two things in mind when purging, however. When you purge your files, you want to keep your original move-in documentation in the current file. So that means all of the stuff that you use to move the resident in, the social security, the birth certificate, race and ethnicity, all of those things will be found in the current file. Also remember, a reviewer is only allowed to go back 5 years, so you need to have on hand and at your access at least 5 years of certifications. Also keep in mind HUD's record retention policy. You have to keep the files, an active file, for 3 years after move out. Don't forget that. 3 years after move out. Most of us keep them forever, but 3 years after move out is HUD's retention policy. That does it for this Tuesday, and stay tuned next Tuesday as we have more tips for our multifamily owners and agents. Thank you.